Hey, hey, you guys. So we're back. It's Tuesday, and I got started reading, and had to go. Had a couple of friends come by, and went and visited for a bit, and now I'm back. So I'd only read about. I think only read like 2 pages. Three, actually. I'd read three. So we're going to read some more. And as you know, or maybe you don't, but we're reading The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, and on page 85. I think we're in chapter 3. Is it chapter 3? Chapter 4. Chapter 4. And I just love this book. Oh my gosh. It's such a great reminder. You know, it's such a great reminder. So hopefully you enjoy it. And I just had a friend message me, and he said, because you never know who's watching, and he said, David, I listen in the evening. So he goes on and listens to the whole thing each evening. And so here we are. I had another friend come last night, and he's going to podcast this for us. So he'll take the sound off the YouTube videos as we put them up on YouTube, and he'll podcast them. So that's kind of exciting, isn't it? So here it is. We're on page 85. Are you worried? He says. Do you have many what-if thoughts? I used to. You are identified with your mind, which is projecting itself into an imaginary future situation and creating fear. It's a bitch, isn't it? I mean, it just does that on its own. And I mean, really, there's no way that you can cope with such a situation because it doesn't exist. It's a mental problem. You can stop this health and life-corroding insanity simply by acknowledging the present moment. Imagine. I cannot even begin to tell you how many hours and days and months and years I've probably wasted worrying about the future. Oh my gosh, just such bullshit. Anyway, be aware of your breathing. Feel the air flowing in and out of your body. Feel your inner energy field. All that you ever have to deal with, cope with in real life, as opposed to imaginary mind projections, is this moment. Imagine. No wonder that little guy looks so happy. Hey, he looks really happy. Eckhart Tolle. I met him my first time back in the 90s. He came to Calgary, and he was at the Center for Spiritual Living. I think we called it the Center for Positive Living then. And in the basement, and there was only about 50 of us, maybe, and there goes my buddy Fred. And yeah, it was just a small group, and the book had just been published, and he was on a bit of a book tour, which, because of the nature of the book, ended up taking him into church basements. and now, it's $120 a seat to get in to see the guy. I don't even think I paid that day. Anyway, but he's, one day at a time, he's helped millions and millions of people with this writing. Okay, ask yourself what problem you have right now. Not next year, not tomorrow, or 5 minutes from now. What is wrong with this moment? And you can always cope with the now, but you can never cope with the future, nor do you have to. The answer, the strength, the right action, or the resource will be there when you need it, not before or after. Son of a gun. One day I'll make it. One day I'll make it. Is your goal taking up so much of your attention that you reduce the present moment to a means to an end? Is it taking the joy out of your doing? Are you waiting to start living? If you develop such a mind pattern, no matter what you achieve or get, the present will never be good enough. Imagine, the future will always seem better. Perfect recipe for permanent dissatisfaction and non-fulfillment. Don't you agree? Wow. Are you a habitual waiter? How much of your life do you spend waiting? What I call small scale waiting. Is waiting in the line at the post office, or in a traffic jam at the airport, or waiting for someone to arrive to finish work, and so on. Large scale waiting is waiting for the next vacation, for the better job, for the children to grow up. I did some of that. For a truly meaningful relationship, for success, to make money, to be important, to become enlightened. It is not uncommon for people to spend their whole life waiting to start living. Son of a gun. Waiting is a state of mind. Basically, it means that you want the future and you don't want the present. You don't want what you've got, and you want what you haven't got. With every kind of waiting, you unconsciously create inner conflict between your here and now, where you don't want to be, and the projected future where you want to be. This greatly reduces the quality of your life by making you lose the present. Damn. There's nothing wrong with striving to improve your life situation. You can improve your life situation, but you cannot improve your life. Life is primary. Life is the deepest inner being. It is already whole, complete, and perfect. Your life situation consists of your circumstances. Your life situation consists of your circumstances and your experiences. There's nothing wrong with setting goals and striving to achieve things. The mistake lies in using it as a substitute for the feeling of life, for being. The only point of access for that is the now. When you are then like a, okay, let me back up. The only point of access for that is the now. You are then like an architect who pays no attention to the foundation of a building, but spends a lot of time working on the superstructure. For example, many people are waiting for prosperity. It cannot come in the future. When you honor, acknowledge, and fully accept your present reality, where you are, who are you? Where you are and who you are, and what you are doing right now, when you fully accept what you have got, you are grateful for what you have got, grateful for what is, grateful for being, gratitude for the present moment and the fullness of life. Now is true prosperity. It cannot come in the future. Then, in time, that prosperity manifests for you in various ways. Da-da-da-da. This is so meaningful, isn't it? It's very, very meaningful. If you are dissatisfied with what you have got, or even frustrated or angry about your present lack, that may motivate you to become rich. Hang on a second. Michelle, yeah? Did you share these again? I can, yeah. Would you? Thanks, love. I forgot to ask. Thank you. So when we go live, Michelle shares the live video with different groups and that kind of stuff, so that we get a little more exposure. And yeah, I'm enjoying reading this. Hopefully you guys like it. It's the deal. Okay, where was I? Okay. I'm going to go back to the beginning of this paragraph. If you are dissatisfied with what you have got, or even frustrated or angry about your present lack, that may motivate you to become rich. But even if you do make millions, you will continue to experience the inner condition of lack. And deep down, you'll continue to feel unfulfilled. You may have many exciting experiences that money can buy, but they will come and go and always leave you with an empty feeling. Oh my God. Oh my God. Always leave you with an empty feeling. And the need for further physical or psychological gratification. You won't abide in being and so feel the fullness of life now that alone is true prosperity. You won't abide in being and so feel the fullness of life now that alone is true prosperity. So give up waiting is a state of mind. When you catch yourself slipping into waiting, snap out of it. Come into the present moment. Just be and enjoy being. If you are present, there is never any need for you to wait for anything. So next time somebody says, sorry to have kept you waiting, you can reply, it's all right, I wasn't waiting. I was just standing here enjoying myself. Enjoy in myself. Imagine each moment being perfect. These are just a few of the habitual mind strategies for denying the present moment that are part of ordinary unconsciousness. They are easy to overlook because they are so much a part of normal living, the background static of perpetual discontent. But the more you practice monitoring your inner mental emotional state, the easier it will be to know when you've been trapped in past or future, which is to say unconscious, and to awaken out of the dream of time into the present. Be aware. The false, unhappy self based on mind identification lives on time. It knows that the present moment is its own death, and so feels very threatened by it. It will do all it can to take you out of it. It will try to keep you trapped in time. Imagine, it may create calamity. It may, stir shit up. Little subtitle called The Inner Purpose of Your Life's Journey. And it starts with a question. I can see the truth of what you're saying, but I still think that we must have purpose in our life's journey. Otherwise we just drift, and purpose means future, doesn't it? How do we reconcile that we are living in the present? How do we reconcile that when we're living in the present? Well, he says, when you are on a journey, it is certainly helpful to know where you're going, at least the general direction in which you're moving. But don't forget, the only thing that is ultimately real about your journey is the step you are taking at this moment. It's all there ever is. Okay. When you're on a journey, it is certainly helpful to know, I did that, your life's journey has an outer purpose. Your life's journey has an outer purpose and an inner purpose. The outer purpose is to arrive at your goal or destination, to accomplish what you set out to do, to achieve this or that, which of course implies future. But if your destination or the steps you're going to take in the future take up so much of your attention that they become more important to you than the step you are taking now, then you completely miss the journey's inner purpose, which has nothing to do with where you're going or what you're doing, but everything to do with how. Everything to do with how. Interesting. And how, I guess, means being in the moment. It has nothing to do with future, but everything to do with the quality of your consciousness at this moment. Yes. So our being. The how, the outer purpose, belongs to the horizontal dimension of space and time. The inner purpose concerns a deepening of your being in the vertical dimension of timeless now. Your outer journey may contain 1,000,000 steps, and your inner journey only has one, the step you are taking right now. As you become more deeply aware of this, one step, you realize that it already contains within itself all the other steps as well as the destination. Everything that is, was, or ever will be is now. This one step then becomes transformed into an expression of perfection, an act of great beauty and quality. It will have taken you into being. And the light of being will shine through it. This is both the purpose and the fulfillment of your inner journey, the journey into yourself. Wow, loaded with great stuff, isn't it? Wow. Wow. I have a friend who's reading along beside me. JR is here, and it's great. She has a copy of the same book, which actually brings me more present, because sometimes I make shit up when I'm reading. and she's here reading alongside of me. I can't just add words and take words out. I edit a little bit. Hell with it. I'm going to continue to edit. Okay, next question. Does it matter whether we achieve our outer purpose, whether we succeed or fail in the world? I think that if we're living in the moment, there's no such thing as success or failure. But here, let's see what he says. I'll bet he says that. It will matter to you as long as you haven't realized your inner purpose. Aha. After that, the outer purpose is just a game that you may continue to play simply because you enjoy it. It is also possible to fail completely in your outer purpose and at the same time totally succeed in your inner purpose. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. It's so subjective. It's so subjective. Success. Who's to say? It really is. Or the other way around. It is totally more common. It is actually more common, outer riches and inner poverty, or to gain the world and lose your soul, as Jesus put it. Ultimately, of course, every outer purpose is doomed to fail sooner or later simply because it is subject to the law of impermanence of all things. The sooner you realize that your outer purpose cannot give you lasting fulfillment, the better. When you have seen the limitations of your own outer purpose, you give up your unrealistic expectation that it should make you happy, and you make it subservient to your inner purpose. I get that. I'm going to read that sentence over again. When you've seen the limitations of your outer purpose, you give up your unrealistic expectation that it should make you happy, and you make it subservient to your inner purpose. I love it. The past, it says, it's a little subtitle again, the past cannot survive in your presence. Long question. This is a question from a student. You mentioned that thinking or talking about the past unnecessarily is one of the ways in which we avoid the present. But apart from the past that we remember and perhaps identify with, isn't there another level of past within us that is much more deep-seated? I'm talking about the unconscious past that conditions our lives, especially through early childhood experiences, perhaps even past life experiences. And then there is our cultural conditioning, which has to do with where we live geographically and the historical time period in which we live. All these things determine how we see the world, how we react, what we think, what kind of relationships we have, how we live our lives. How could we ever become conscious of all of that or get rid of it? How long would that take? And if we did, what would there be left? That's interesting, eh? Because I already know this is a trap. It's a trap. And but here we go. He's answering. What is left when illusion ends? I mean, that's the answer. There is no need to investigate the unconscious past in you, except as it manifests in this moment as a thought, an emotion or a desire, and a reaction or an external event that happens to you. Whatever you need to know about the unconscious past in you, the challenges of the present will bring it out. If you delve into the past, it will become a bottomless pit. We call that therapy. And I say that therapy is rearranging the chairs on the Titanic. Not many therapists would like me say that shit, but there we go. Because, that's what we're doing. Looking around, poking around, and reframing. Let's reframe this. There is always more, he says. Bottomless pit. There's always more. You may think you need more time to understand the past or become free of it. In other words, that the future will eventually free you of the past. This is a delusion. Only the present can free you of the past. More time cannot free you of time. Access the power of now. That is the key. Isn't that funny, eh? It's like the heroin addict saying, I need more heroin to get off this addiction. Eh? Or the alcoholic who, thinks that one more drink will make everything better. So just a little more time, please. And isn't that, I've heard that sometimes at the end, when we're close to death, all we want is more time. And the truth is, we haven't actually used the time we had, because without this kind of knowledge, although he's certainly not the first to share this. I mean, many teachers and I was going to say Sufis, but many teachers have shared this in the past in different ways, and Christ and Buddha and just endless. And so, anyway, what is the power of now? That's a question. Gosh, that's a pretty important question to be tucked on the bottom of this page, isn't it? Page 90. Here we go. None other than the power of your presence, your consciousness liberated from thought forms. So deal with the past on the level of the present. The more attention you give to the past, the more you energize it, the more likely you are to make a self out of it. Don't misunderstand. Attention is essential, but not to the past as past. Give attention to the present. Give attention to your behavior, to your reactions, modes, thoughts, emotions, fears, and desires as they occur in the present. There's the past in you. If you can be present enough to watch all these things, not critical or analytical, but non-judgmentally, then you're dealing with the past and dissolving it through the power of your presence. You cannot find yourself by going into the past. You find yourself by coming into the present. Awesome. Another little question. Isn't it helpful to understand the past and so understand why we do certain things, react in certain ways, or why we unconsciously create our particular kind of drama, patterns in relationships and so on? It's so interesting how, the mind tells us we need to understand. It's just like this desperate cry. I need to understand. If I understand, then I can control, right? And the mind wants to control. So all of that need for understanding is coming out of the mind. And what he's saying is just be here now, and everything we need will be here now as things arise. We'll deal with it. As you become more conscious of your present reality, you may suddenly get certain insights as to why your conditioning functions in such particular ways. For example, why your relationships follow certain patterns. You may remember things that happened in the past or see them more clearly. That is fine and can be helpful, but it is not essential. What is essential is your conscious presence. That dissolves the past. That is the transformative agent. So don't seek to understand the past, but be as present as you can. The past cannot survive in your presence. It can only survive in your absence. Son of a gun. Well, I think I'm happy with that. That's the end of that chapter. We're next into chapter 5, and probably enough reading for today. 2 short readings, but enough, I think. So tomorrow, hopefully, we'll do some more reading on page 93, chapter 5. Love you guys. Hopefully you're enjoying this. It's certainly fun for me to share and to read. I'm getting a lot out of it, and I can't even begin to tell you how much that this has been helpful for me. So thank you for, giving me the opportunity to do this. Yeah, love it. Okay, cheers. Love you guys. Oh, you can check us out on YouTube. I love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bali and Beyond. And maybe follow us on Facebook. We are on Facebook, but like our page. And follow us on Instagram, Bali and Beyond. And yeah, and that's it. Oh, check out our website. Maybe buy something. Yeah, get a meditation kit. You need a meditation kit. Okay, love you.